Oh, Lordy. That's the hardest plate right there. Dude.
Are you ready?
Never break the 180 rule. This is a straight line right across here is the 180. You never want to go like that with the gun. That's a no-no. The red
That's
one.
all of them.
You just shot your first steel challenge match. Now come over here to this red box. Finger off the trigger. So the next thing I want you to do is to feel how light this trigger is. This is a competition trigger. This is much lighter than other triggers. It won't take a lot of pressure to fire it. So pull it back. See how easy? Very short pull, very easy to pull. Pull that thing back and rack it again. It's called racking the gun. Finger off the trigger.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So now get this thumb up there. Get this thumb up on top, just like that. Nice. And you want to squeeze that sucker, man. Squeeze it like it's
All right.
your worst nightmare's neck. Squeeze it tight, like holding a hammer, we say. Let's put this on. Hold it up and see. Move it around till you see the dot.
Oh yeah, I can see the dot.
See the
That's
dot?
pretty cool.
Put the dot on that target. We're going to shoot at this one first when we're ready. We'll shoot that big square and we'll see how you do.
All right.
When the gun goes off, there's a little recoil. These guns aren't bad. This happens to be a loud gun. This is called a compensator. This blows glasses up to hold the nose of the gun down. It makes it a little louder than most guns are, especially 22s, but it won't bother you.
Okay.
Some people freak out because there's an explosion happening 3 feet in front of their face.
Just don't freak out.
Don't freak out, don't twitch, don't worry. It's supposed to do that. When you're not shooting, your finger's off the trigger. Up on top, right there. Then the timer goes in your ear, beep, and you start to shoot the target. So you start with this one, that one, that one, that one, that one. So let's do that. The red one's always last. It's called the stop plate. So go ahead and take your time and shoot them. Hit.
This one?
Yep. Hit. All the way back.
The yellow one?
The square one. The square one. All the way back. Hit. 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 This girl's back. Nothing in there. Safety is paramount. #1 rule. You don't want to hurt anybody.
Right.
Now you're ready to fire. Watch that trigger. Hit.
I forgot which one I was supposed to hit next.
This way. Hit. Hit.
Ah,
Miss. Miss. Hit. Hit. There you go. Getting cocky, man. I like it. Oh, you did good. Actually, there's a couple more in here. I think there's 2 more rounds. Watch the trigger. No finger in the trigger yet. And just shoot the red one 2 or 3 times. You know what? Do this. A double tap. Pop, pop. There you go. Just keep shooting until we know we're empty.
Yeah, it's empty.
It's empty. Okay, I thought it was. I thought there was only 2 left. I count them for some reason. That's good. Hit. Oh, that's good. Hit. All the way back. Hit. 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 Nice. Like father likes the daughter.
Yeah.
Like daughter like. And the makeup shot is important. I missed the first one. The second shot's got to be even faster.
That's sweet.
That's the way it goes. The magazine, bullets pointing forward, right? I'm pretty sure it can only go in. No, it can go the wrong way. Bullets pointing forward. You insert it in here, like that. Once it's in there, this is the safety. See that red line on that safety? That means it's ready to fire, so we're going to put the safety on. That means it can't fire now, okay? There's the bullet sitting right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this back and let go. We just took 1 bullet and put it into the chamber. Same rule, keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to fire. This gun you grip like this. You still grip it. This hand is the same way, and you'll take the safety off when you're ready to shoot. You grip it the same way there, but with this hand you're reaching way out here, believe it or not.
Okay.
So the object of this one now is, this you shoot completely different. It's what you're doing is you're just holding this gun back on your shoulder. You're gripping this not too tight actually, but just back into your shoulders so you have a little pressure. Your hand out front is pulling back a little bit, and you're basically putting your finger pointing straight ahead. Because if I want to point, same concept applies here. Point. See? So I'm holding it up here. It's not that tight actually. This is not as tight as the pistol. But you want to pull it back just enough so you feel pressure. Once the gun's back in your shoulder, you're not moving the gun with this hand at all. This thing only pulls the trigger. That's all it does. This one's pulling it back, and I'm actually moving the barrel with my hand, this hand. And once I'm on the target, pull the trigger. And the operators do that really, really fast.
Right.
Over and over and over again with never missing. So there is a bullet in the chamber. Yes, there is.
Yes.
The safety's on. Sights are on. So let's see what I gave this to you a little sooner than I should have actually.
Really?
So, go ahead. Pull it into your shoulder a little snug. Finger straight just like that.
Can't see the dot though. Oh, there it is.
But you gotta find it. Now just try moving it from one target to another using this arm. And a little bit of your knees actually. Kind of keep, this part's an A-frame, just staying real tight and firm, but you're just kind of twisting your knees and moving the gun with your arm. Bing, bing, bang. You have to make sounds, otherwise, there's no point in being out here.
Yeah.
You want to try it? Let's go over there. So take the safety off. Okay, watch that trigger because it's the same trigger as the other gun.
If I put my face here, will it hurt me?
No, not at all.
Okay.
There's very little kick in that gun. So just try one shot first. There you go. Was that worse? Same? Less? Same thing.
Same thing, yeah.
Yeah. So now move to the next target. And now all the way out. And now those yellow one. And now the stop plate. Bam.
Bam, bam, bam.
Now do it faster.
Oh, I forgot this one.
Damn.
Bam, bam, bam.
That's good, man. You didn't miss a thing. Isn't that amazing? And by the way, you're probably twice as fast the second time as you were the first time. And you can go a lot faster than that, by the way. So you're getting there. Very, very nice. So now this button right here, push it and the magazine just drops right out. Just like that. And then you want to, this is the trickiest part of the gun. There's a little button right there.
Yeah.
So you pull this back, push that button up, and it locks this open.
Oh, okay.
So people can see that the gun is empty. So here. I'm really no different than you. You did great. Maybe a little faster. Usually we start at that red dot there, and then we come up to the target.
You're making music.
Making music, baby. If they make them notes, you could play music.
That'd be pretty sick.
So that's the way I do that here. How about you, Dad? You ready?
Yeah, you do it.
If you can get your hand further out, yep, more important. It stabilizes the gun.
Yeah, I see. I feel it. Yeah.
And if you want to move it in or up and down wherever you're comfortable, get comfortable. But
Right.
there you go. Like Dad and the daughter. Other thing that I haven't mentioned yet is that when I set my feet, you want to be able to make sure that you can rotate from target to target. You can get to all the targets, the widest points. So here I'm real comfortable, and there I'm real comfortable. So my feet are just where I want them. I don't want to change. If I started missing, and when you're going faster, if I started missing one plate to the right, I would maybe adjust my foot to the left, and that way I would come onto the plate more. It's little things like that is what'll get you shooting faster in this sport. Now I'm talking steel challenge competition, blah, 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 but for regular shooting, you do whatever you want. This is how you shoot fast. So we would normally be starting like this. Are you ready? Stand by. I missed the target. I'm going too fast. Showboating. Let's shoot it backwards.
You make music, Jesse.
That's so cool.
Amazing. I mean, I'm so impressed. Do it faster.
I
Stop
don't.
moving around here now. Let's get down to it.
Oh, there's no more.
Empty. It's empty. It's empty. The magazine in there. Bullets forward.
How far? Is that how far it
That's
goes?
pretty much it.
All right.
Yep. Just want to make sure
Oh,
it's
until
in.
it clicks.
Yep. And put the safety on for you. There's one in the chamber. It's ready to go. Meaning that you can kill somebody right now.
I will
So
not
finger
do
off the
that.
trigger. Okay. Take the safety off. And you know what to do now. Amazing, man.
Oh.
I cannot believe what I'm seeing. It took me 3 years to get to this point.
There's nothing else.
Slow down. Go ahead. Put it up on the target. Slow down. What's the matter? Why are you missing? You turning the rifle a little too much? Try to keep
I
it
mean,
like that.
the red dot is on it. Oh, okay.
The other red dot.
I think that was her first miss. So a lot of people actually do what you do. See how you're turning that gun like you're canting it on an angle? A lot of people do that on purpose. You're doing it because the gun's set up for me. You want to have your head up and down, ideally.
I'm just trying to see
But
the dot.
because of me, you got to come down. So go ahead. I think the safety's on.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it is.
But if you're comfortable shooting on an angle, it doesn't matter. If the dot's on the target, you'll hit it.
Nothing else.
That's it.
Empty. It's all.
It's off.
So how's it feel to you?
That's good.
Not bad. It's soft,
bad
right?
at all.
You can feel the bounce.
I missed that one.
You see the bullet splatter onto the ground? See how wide those splatter patterns are?
All right, Terry, what are we shooting?
So this is my JP Leadstar MVX Franken rifle, 9mm PCC it's called, pistol caliber carbine AR basically. So let's see what we do here. I'm gonna try it out here. It's the same thing. I'm just pulling it into my shoulder. Once my dot's on the target, I'm gonna pull the trigger. Just like that. So you see how it doesn't feel? Come here. I want you to try it. The safety on. Oh, this has a special trigger that rolls. It's a roller trigger. And the reason for that is sometimes if you push on the trigger, you can move the gun. With the rolling, it takes that push out of it. It's amazing. Brilliant innovation by JP. I thought I'd hate it, but I love it. Same thing, a little heavier than the 22, obviously. I'm still going to hold it out here somewhere. My arm's longer than yours, so you probably can't reach that, but wherever you're comfortable.
Yeah, I can't reach that.
No. So I want you just take one shot first, just to feel what it is. It's going to bounce your arm a little bit, but not terrible, believe me. And the noise is way out here, so you won't even hear it. Well, you will, but you won't.
Okay.
Take the safety off. It's on this side. Just one time on the target.
Oh yeah, it's not that bad.
Not bad,
Your
right?
face like slides here.
So go ahead. Yeah. Oh, that's what it is. Yeah. So this is the same thing. Now, normally I'd be coming up out of the holster, but we can't do that here, so we won't. Now, this is filthy, and my dot is weak, so the battery is bad. But and the only difference on this one, it's a click switch, because the power was moving my dot. This one is loud. This is the loudest of all the guns that I have, an open gun, because there's 3 ports or 5 ports, well, a whole bunch of ports with the gases coming out. They all do something. What it's doing is 2 things. It's called a muzzle brake. because when you're firing, the gases are hitting all these walls, and it's pulling the gun forward to take away some of the recoil from coming backwards, right? Because what is the law? Anything going forward has to say equal, same, coming backwards. So, so by adding these slots, somebody figured out that takes some of that off. The other thing is the gases are pumping up, so when the gun is recoiling, it pushes the gas to help keep it down some. There are springs and everything inside this gun. If you have it tuned perfectly, they call it tuning. When you fire it, boom, it'll come up and come right back down into target again. And by the way, it does not come up that much, I'm exaggerating. If the thing comes a little dips down, your spring is too heavy. If it comes and dips up, spring is too light. And that's how you figure out how to tune a gun. How do you tune a piano? There's a joke there somewhere that I can't remember. How do you
Oh, it is loud.
That is awesome. That's fast.
That's loud.
It's not too much recoil, but I want you to grip it tighter than you did before. The 22, we have a tendency of gripping it loosely because there's not a lot of recoil. This one isn't that bad either, but you'll see you need a little bit more. This is the thumb rest here. I kind of push into the back of it. If you can get on top of it, great. I happen to hate this thumb rest. I'm replacing it this week, tomorrow actually. I'm replacing it with the one like I have, but for now it goes like that, if you can do that. Safety is on. Let's do this. Let me do this instead. Let me empty the gun first. So, heavier than the other guns are, which is good because it takes some of that recoil. The heavier guns won't recoil as much. So to start with this one, you're gonna put your safety off. I think it's off already, yep.
Yeah.
You're gonna pull this lever back, right? Safety on by flipping it up, yep. Now when you're ready to shoot, actually my safety is on in my holster, and I come up and I don't turn the safety off, believe it or not, until I'm here. It's part of my motion, click, and then I fire. You wanna have the gun pointing down range. I was holstering this gun with that super light trigger you just felt. I was putting it into my holster. I accidentally touched the side of my trigger. It went off. It shot literally right there.
Oh.
And I felt the wind of the bullet go through the mesh of my sneaker about a year ago. Ever since then, I use my safety. I did not have my safety on. It should be on when you're putting it back in the holster. So the light triggers can go off easy, so be careful. Okay, so, but don't be afraid. I mean, keep the gun pointing that way, you'll be fine. So there's only a few in here. Looks like maybe 5 or 6. So you're gonna put that up through the bottom. Send it home, don't be shy, yep. It's all, rack it again. Safety off and then rack it.
Where do I pull again?
Put this down. Now pull that back. Let go. Safety back on. Okay. Now, so go ahead and just take a look at the targets. You're not going to hold that hand out there. You're going to hold it back on the ground. Yep.
Where is that dog? Oh, there it is.
It's a little smaller or something, right? Something
Yeah.
different. The battery's dead, I think.
Yeah, it's a little bit smaller.
So when you're ready, drop the safety and go ahead and fire.
Don't hold me.
No, it's not going to kick like that.
No, he's just holding my back. Whoa.
So hold it tighter.
That
There you go. This is more of a real gun compared to what we were shooting. Slow down, take your time. It's empty. I can see you shaking on that one.
Yeah,
Is that
that's a
because you
little
were
bit
gripping it or you just didn't like it?
I think I was just gripping it.
Okay.
Try it again.
I just can't get the yellow one.
Try it again.
Try.
Yes, you can. You just go slower. First of all, never say I can't do it. If you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And that's the truth. There you go. You got it. There you go.
This one makes my
The finish on the barrel, that compensator is part of the barrel, and that's called the titanium nitride or something. So, you see how easy it is to shoot? watching the barrel and it is returning to fun, right? I have a terrible habit that I'm working on getting rid of right now, where when I think I'm on the target, I pull the trigger instead of waiting for the dot to arrive. It's part of trying to go fast. A lot of guys fight it, or have the same problem, but now that I know it's a problem, I'm getting better at it. But I just was doing it again and I missed. That's what happens. The difference between a master shooter and a grandmaster shooter, grandmaster hits more targets. Master misses more. And it won't hurt at all.
Okay.
It won't hurt at all. So you want to hold it tight. You kind of this you grip a little bit differently. This hand is the same. Okay, you hold it the same. This one here, instead of coming out here with the thumb, you don't want to come out here because you got to watch the gases, especially with the 357. You can hurt yourself. So some people do, some people don't. I cross my thumbs like this. All right. So this is called a single action, double action gun, which means that I can either, let me take these out for a second to show you. Let me take them over here, thank you. So this one you can either just pull the trigger, this is called a double action, and it'll fire. It's kind of a heavy trigger, feel how heavy that is. Not anything like those competition triggers.
Oh yeah, that is.
You got to work on it. So that's more like an 8-pound trigger, those are 1.5-pound triggers, so big difference. Or you can shoot it in what they call, they're fine. Or you can shoot single action, which means you pull it back, you perform one of those actions already, and this time it feels a lot closer to the competition trigger now. So be careful because it's very, very light. See the difference? So that's better. So when you load the gun, just crank it back and then just you can fire it. But make sure your finger's out of the trigger.
I don't have the red dot anymore.
Hold that. We're going to aim at the dirt. We're not going to aim at the plates.
Oh, okay.
You can aim at the plates, but you're not.
I'm not gonna hit it.
I don't even know if the gun's sighted in for it. Well, let's talk about the iron sights for a second. So with iron sight gun, this is called iron sights. The optic is super easy. You want to get this piece here in the front, in between that little notch in the back. And you want to get the top of this with the top of this. So they call it equal height or something like that. I forget what they say. But when you're looking through the sights,
I don't know.
if you look through this notch, don't focus on that notch. Focus on this only. But you want to be able to see that guy right there through there?
Yes.
Same height, same right and left part, and you will hit your target then, believe it or not, if you get it set up like that. Yep, that's it. So it's relatively safe until you pull that trigger back, and then you gotta, like I said, that thing will just go off.
Jesse, shoot the one in the back.
The yellow one?
Or the one in the plate over here. Pull it back again.
Oh yeah. There we go.
Top. That's hard to do, I'm telling you. There you go.
There we go.
Jeez, man.
Can I hit these close?
Yeah. You hear it raining down on us?
Yeah.
That was some of the... You're amazing with this thing. This girl can shoot, I'll tell you
Ah,
what.
there are
man.
no more.
Pull the trigger at 8 pounds, or cock it and then fire it at 1.5 pounds.
So
Either way, it's
shoot
very
to the mound, right?
You can try and hit this guy up front here if you want.
Shoot the one in the back.
No, these are 38s. This is soft. You want to shoot it?
What, the
357? 357.
I'll shoot that one, yeah.
We'll have you all give it a try.
I want to watch, okay, what'd you call it? I haven't,
That's a 357?
yeah.
He's shooting 38 right now, but yes, 357.
I haven't gotten the chance to see you shoot
That's
5
357?
targets.
Oh, I'll show you.
Oh my god, I
Tito.
can't wait.
Tito.
Oh, yeah.
I have to.
Just get your finger off the trigger. When you're ready to go, point it at your target and then put your finger on the trigger.
Isabella, come here. Black one.
There you go.
That's only 38.
357, I didn't grip it very tight, and this piece came back and busted me in the knuckle, and for 3 months it reminded me to hold the gun tight. That hurt, man. So that's the whole thing. So with this 357. So it wasn't that bad.
Wow.
And you're nowhere near.
I was just hanging on and praying to God.
There's no slugs here.
They wear boots all the time.
There you go. Hey, Alex, you can shoot it too, man. You sure it's empty? Looks like two different. This is stainless. I'm
That
not
does
sure.
look like two different.
It looks like two
metals.
different metals. So you know what you I don't know. This could be stainless and this might be nickel. Pretty sure this is stainless.
I would shoot.
It is a Franken rifle. Basically, I went out and bought all the different components, put it together just like AJ did.
It looks like a Nerf gun.
And this
So
looks like a
wait,
Nerf
what
gun.
am I
It doesn't look
starting?
like it
It's
could be
ultra lightweight.
I would start it. I'd go over to Rick's got. That's a 22, just like the other one.
Yeah.
But it's stripped to nothing, so it's
So, all right, you ready, guys? Someone's gonna go here.
top of the.
That was like 3 seconds. That was like 3.5
Thank
seconds.
you, thank you, thank you very much.
Don't shoot it. Tell me when.
Go.
You're so quiet in the back.
Oh wow, now I got cameras on me.
I've shot so much.
Don't be nervous.
Go.
Oh wait. Oh, no more.
You're out. Hold this. There, hold this so I don't like put my thumb.
Right, you don't
You
want
gotta
your
shoot
thumb
the
there. I
ones in the
usually
back.
wrap this one around here, like that.
Oh, okay, okay.
The back. Now, once you pull the trigger, it's heavy, so
Yeah.
what you do is you cock it back first. Put the trigger.
Okay, you're clear. Safety on?
Are on over here.
Yep.
You're all set?
You
You
can
can
we can hear.
You got the suppressor.
Okay.
Oh wow. Oh wow, that's a sight.
It may not be focused for your eye. It was focused for Alex.
Instruction needed with this over here. Safety's off.
Got hit me in the face a little bit.
Did you get whacked in the face? I hope I got it on video.
Is that Julio?
Yeah.
I hope you're okay. Are you all right?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I didn't realize you. Yeah, I'm trying to.
You shot this already? Let me
Oh,
make
no,
sure
I
everyone.
shot that one. I wanted that one.
Anyone else? 556. Okay. Yeah. But I
You
only
may want
have
to back your
only
head up a
one
little
round.
bit.
Okay.
Yeah. It's going to come back like an inch or
You'll go
so.
after him, Nicole. I have the rounds that I bought. They're in my freaking car.
That we're out of.
Oh, no.
Take as many as you want. I have.
What I like is it's quiet. I could use some damn raccoons in my car. Terry, you shot ages.
I got to go. I did shoot it, yeah. The elephant gun.
No, but he makes
Very cool. Thank you, sir.
I shot him, yeah. Awesome. Very impressive. That. So that's all I have for now. Thank you for stopping by. And remember to like, subscribe, and do what?
Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you.
Are you ready?
Bank